Welcome everybody. This is going to be a training. Sorry about the small delay. It's going to be a training about how can you log into your Teams as a student. We had some a tiny bit of a technical thing to resolve, but now it's all good. So I'm going to be with you for the next half hour. I'm going to do my best to answer all your questions and show you what happens when you need to log into your team for the first time. So you should see my PowerPoint here. I'm going to walk you through the first steps that you need to take when you log into Team. How can you connect to Teams? How can you find your classes? Because sometimes when you work with Teams for the first time, it can be kind of complicated. So I'm gonna walk you through all of this and the basics of what can you do inside of a Teams class, okay? So by the end of this half hour, you should be good to go. You'll have the basics down and you're gonna be able to attend your class, interact into your class and all that. So if ever you have any questions as I go along, Lidi's with me. She's gonna take your questions and it's gonna let me know whatever you want to know. She's going to pass them to me if I don't see them, and I'm going to do my best to answer everybody's questions. So without further ado, since we don't have much time, let me start. Your first step into the wonderful world of Teams. So what's going to happen is that since we're working online right now, you need to access your Teams, your classes on Teams, which is a Microsoft platform. It's called Microsoft Teams. It can be a bit confusing because we're asking you to join a team inside of Teams. So I'm going to try and call it Microsoft Teams when I talk about the application, the app, and talk about Teams when I talk about a team inside of Microsoft Teams. Teams, for our sake, are called classes. So basically, you're going to go into the Microsoft Teams application and you're going to access a class. So I'm going to show you how you can do that, because beforehand, you need to have your access to Microsoft Teams. So for this to work, you're going to need to have an email linked to your account. So I'm going to show you how you can access this. The first thing you want to do is to go into LIA, well, actually Omnivox, which is our platform where you can access the different parts of your class with us, of your time with us if you want. You're going to be able to access your schedule, your grades, your assignments, communicate with your teacher. So this is the platform by the Collège La Salle. Microsoft Teams is really a tool we use to teach you, but this is going to be the platform, the main platform for if you want the hub, the teaching hub and the student hub. So you're going to be able to access everything you know, your schedule and all that. So when you go into your Omnivox, you're going to log in with your email and you're going to actually, it's your account, your password. Going to go into your Omnivox and you're going to see something similar to this. As you see on my screenshot here, you have your course schedule. On the left side of your screen, there's a column. It's called My Omnivox Services. Course schedule will allow you, of course, to see your schedule for all your courses. So you want to know when you have classes, what time, which day. So this is where you're going to find this. So you're going to click on course schedule. You're going to have a window. You're going to choose the semester that comes up. So you want your course schedule for the upcoming semester because you want to know how can I reach my classes for that semester. You're going to have to enter your password, click confirm. So this is pretty simple stuff. You should be able to do this by your own. And then you're going to be able to see your class schedule. Okay. Once you access this section, this will confirm that you're actually a student with us, okay? So once we've confirmed that you're registered, what we need to do is to set you up with a Microsoft 365 account. As I said earlier, we're going to work you're going to have all your classes in Microsoft Teams, which is a Microsoft application. So to access it, you need Microsoft credentials. We at the college offer you an account to Microsoft 365 when you're with us. So basically, you're going to receive your credentials once you're registered with the college by email. We're going to send you an email. You're going to have your a new email. Actually, it's going to be a Microsoft and LCE education email, and you're going to have a password with that. So this is going to be used to log into your account, your Microsoft Teams account, or actually your Microsoft 365 account. So you should have access to Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, stuff like that. Okay. So make sure that because you're probably going to wait patiently in front of your inbox for that email. I know we had a lot of messages last semester. Where's my email? I'm waiting for it. People are waiting patiently. They want to look into their teams, see their classes and all that. So make sure you want to check, you check the spam folder. It happens sometimes because of the spam algorithms that these emails are received in a spam folder. So if you're waiting, you don't see your email, make sure to check your spam folder. So if you have your emails, probably either in the inbox or spam folder, you're going to have your credentials. Sometimes once you register, it can take a while, it can take like maybe 24 hours, sometimes a bit more. It depends on the technical issue we run into. Just be patient. We're going to get to you. Don't worry about it. If ever there's something you have like a class tomorrow, or you're anxious, you don't know where are those emails and where are those credentials, write to us. There's a link here. Maybe we can copy it and give it to you. Otherwise, you can write it down. Go at this address and you're going to be able to access it. So let me just try to write it down for you. Lydie, please confirm that they're going to be able to reach this link. You should be able. So you can basically click on the link, and this is going to be your access to reach us. If ever you have problems, emergencies, everything you need to know is there. Okay, so this is for your Microsoft 365 account. Now, you also need to access Lia, as I said. So Lia is basically where you're going to be. Hopefully you're not lost by this time. We have Omnivox, we have Teams, we have Lia. It's kind of a lot of things maybe to process, but what you only need to understand is that Omnivox is the basic system, which has two sections in it, mainly. It has more than that, but you have your Lia and you have your Mio. Mio is basically an email system, and Lia is basically where you can see each classes you have and receive your assignments, go into the forum and talk to your teacher. You can also see a calendar, you can receive files, submit your assignments, stuff like that. So to log into Lia, which is going to be your main student hub, if you want, go into your Omnivox, then click on the Lia icon as you see here. It's on top of the columns. If you look at my image previously, you had your course schedule there, and on top here are two icons, Lia and Mio. Lia for accessing Lia, and Mio for your emails. So you click on Lia, and you're going to be there. You're going to see a bunch of stuff. You have access. You can choose which class you want to see. You can choose your semester, your classes, basically what you want to display on your screen, and focus on only one class, or you can see all your classes at once. So every classes will have different sections. You're going to see, I think I have an image. I have an image soon. You're going to see that actually I'm going to show you on maybe that's not the best. Let me just check if I can show you so that you understand better. I'm going to show you, of course, as you probably guessed, I'm not a student myself. I'm one of the tutors at ILASAL, but I'm going to show you, if you give me a minute, how what you're going to see. I'm going to stop my sharing and I'm going to share this here. You should see now my Chrome, and this is what it's going to look like. This is the tutor views. It's a bit different, but you're going to see your icon for Leah. Once you click on Leah, you're going to be something similar to this. Since I'm a teacher, it's not exactly the same as you, but you're going to see like an interface similar to this. So you can choose your semester, you can choose your classes. And every classes, for example, right now I'm into, it's a French class, but it's called Initiation en Infographie. So this is the class I'm seeing right now, and I have different sections. You're going to see that you have sections like announcement or distributed documents, okay? So these sections will allow you to access different documents that your teacher will hand out to you. You're going to have a calendar section, so every classes will have different section. So what you need to know is that once you're inside of Leah, once you're inside these section, you're going to see that you can actually have two places where the teacher will send you a link. Because what you want to do right now is that once you're here, you're probably wondering, okay, I see my classes, but how can I actually go into my classes and have my teacher teach me? I want to learn. So basically, since we're working with Microsoft Teams right now for teaching, you're going to have a link sent to you. This link will be sent either via the announcement section or the course document section. So as a teacher, I can either send you a link via an announcement and create an announcement that says, here's the link for our class this semester, for example. Or I can distribute to you a document, which is basically a link telling you here's the link to our classes this semester. With a link, you click on it and you go into Teams. So one of these two methods will be used by your teacher. You might have some teachers who use the forum. Every class has a forum also, and teachers can communicate with you via the forum. So some of your teachers might send you a message on the forum. So if you don't see an announcement or you don't see a course document with a link, make sure to check the forum. Hopefully nobody will send you via emails these links, but you might have a link via email. If this happens, don't worry about it. It's all the same. The main thing is that you have this link. However, you get it. You need this link because this link will send you to your class into Microsoft Teams. And this link will be good for the whole semester, okay? So basically, it's going to be used throughout the semester. You're going to go there and you're going to go into a team and be able to join the meeting. I'm going to show you how you can join your meeting in a few minutes. I know that there are 3 ways to open up Teams. So when you're going to click on the link, you're going to have the choice to open it either on a browser, a web browser, either on a desktop app or on your mobile phone or a mobile device. Please, we know that mobiles are cool. We know that it's easier to kind of walk around or do other stuff while you listen to your classes. But please, when you attend a class, always make sure to have a desktop app. Because there are things that you will not be able to do if you use a mobile device. So for example, if your teacher wants to do breakout rooms, they want to put you into groups and work in small groups on a project. If you're on a mobile device, you will not be able to do so. Same with the online version. If you're on online version, there is stuff you cannot do inside of Teams, and you probably regret it later on. So always make sure that when you attend your class, it's not long. Classes are either like 1 hour 30 or 2 hours, tops 3 hours. So usually, actually, we don't have classes of that long, but But always make sure to log into your desktop app. It's not that long of a time. So put your mobile device on, open your desktop app for an hour or two, and use this while you attend your class. This way you'll be able to do everything your teacher wants you to do. You'll be able to interact in class, and you won't have any problem on that front. Okay. So so that's it for the different versions of Teams. Once you connect to Teams, though, for the first time, you're going to see that there's a whole process. This will be done only once. You don't have to do this every week. It's a bit tedious, but don't worry about it. Once and you're done. It's a security protocol. Basically, we want to make sure, well, not us, but Microsoft wants to make sure that once you use your account to access your team, you're the only one that has access to your account, so that nobody can access your teams or yourself, so people cannot interact and play as they would be you, and interact and talk as they would be you, or see your files and stuff like that. So we have to go through this security steps once when we start. So you're going to start team. You're going to see that they ask you for your email. Make sure to use the email, not your personal email, but the email we sent you. Remember, earlier I was talking to you about the fact that you'll receive an email with your Microsoft credentials. So since you're logging into Teams, you need to use your Microsoft credentials. So use those with the password we provided to you, then log in. You're going to see that they ask you to set up your Microsoft account. So basically, what happens is what we call the two-factor authorization method. It wants to make sure that not only do they check if you're really you by using your password and your email, but they also want to make sure that they have another kind of way to know that it's really you. So you're going to have to use your phone, your mobile device. So in the screen that pops up, you choose the mobile app and you click on next. What's going to happen is that you're going to go onto your mobile device. You're going to download the Microsoft Authenticator app. There's a whole link here, but don't worry about the link. Just type Microsoft Authenticator in Google. You're going to find the app easily, or in your app store, actually. You're going to find the app. You can scan the code that shows up on your screen. You click next. What that does is that basically the app you're going to install on your phone will link up to your Microsoft Teams account. So it's going to say not only this person has that email and that password, but they also have that phone. Okay, so it's kind of a double way of making sure it's you. If you don't have a mobile device, if you're like me, you're kind of old school, and you don't like mobile devices, or you have like these old phones that are not like intelligent. I have a dumb phone actually at my place, so I cannot install Microsoft Authenticator. You can also use your phone number. It can be, if you don't want to use the app, you can also use a simple phone number. They're gonna call you, and you just have to press like the pound key. It's gonna make sure that the number is good. Okay. So once you have set this up, you have your Microsoft Authenticator, or you have your phone set up, you're going to be good to go. This is basically what's going to happen is that Microsoft on your phone will open. There's a code. You need to confirm this into your Teams, and it makes sure that the phone and the Teams are linked. It's quite simple. It might look frightening like this, but it's really simple. Basically, you install the app, it shows a code, you enter the code into your team, and you're good to go. If, as I said before, you have only a phone, a regular phone, it's going to call you, you're going to press the pound key, you're going to be good to go. Just note that since it works with phones, you might run into an issue if you like lose your phone, or if you decide to change a number. If you decide to change your number or change your phone, try to think of this beforehand. You can always contact us. I'm going to give you how in a while, in a few minutes, and you can reach out to us beforehand, changing your phone or your number. We're going to set this up for you. Otherwise, if you lose your phone, do the same thing, contact us. and we're gonna make sure that you're all good to go and that you don't miss a class. When I say us, you'll need to contact the IT department. Okay, I'm gonna show you how in a minute. So this you should be good once you understand that you need to link your phone and your Microsoft Authenticator app. You're going to be. So that being said, now you have access to your Microsoft account. You should be good to go. So once you're in Teams, what do you do? Well, in Teams, you're going to see that Teams is basically a hub for all your classes. Once you're in Team, you're going to see a bunch of teams and a way to access them. There's a navigation bar at the left side of your screen. There's a bunch of icons. I won't have time to go into all of those icons, but the one we want to focus on today is the Teams icon. So you click on the Teams icon, and once you click on the Teams icon, you're going to see all of your teams. Your teams in Microsoft Teams are your classes. So basically, they're the groups where you're going to be able to attend your different classes. So every class you're enrolled in will be there. You should see them all. If you want to enter a class, you click on this class. Technically, if the tutor did a great job, if the teacher you have did what they're supposed to do, when you're going to click the link you received by email, you should enter this place automatically. So you won't have to go into your team, click on Teams and choose your team to enter the class. Technically, you go there automatically, but we never know. Sometimes mistakes can happen. So if ever you're lost, you're looking for your class, just click on the Teams icon on the navigation bar, click on Teams, enter your class, and you're going to see this. This basically is your main page for your class. The right side is going to show you a navigation space if you want. Each class is divided into channels. We call them channels. There are spaces, different spaces where the teacher can interact with you. They can post content. By default, these spaces are like week 1, week 2, week 3. So you're always going to have a general channel where things are going on. Usually that where your teacher can write to you, post things, and interact with you in a general manner. And you're also going to have a channel for each week. So most teachers will actually give their lecture in their respective channel. So on week 1, they're going to give their lecture in the week 1 channel. On week 2, they're going to do the lecture in week 2 channel. Maybe your teacher will rename these channels. Maybe it's going to be by topic. So for example, if you attend a class that's going to be on history, maybe you're going to have a channel called 1950s. Then you're going to have a channel called 1960s, 1970s. So each channel can have a topic if you want. Whenever you get to that screen, if it's the day of a class, you're going to see in a moment, I'm going to show you a screenshot. You're going to see a little camera icon. So if there's a meeting or a class going on inside of this channel, you're going to see a camera icon. You're going to be able to join your class from there. If there's no camera icon, just mean that there's no meeting that started yet. If you want to check what the teacher is saying, if they left a message and all that, you simply have to go and click on any channel and see the content of that space. The content could be messages, could be videos, could be documents. You're going to see that there's a lot of possibilities there. So this is for your first encounter with your team. You're going to notice that once you come in, usually you're into a channel and into a tab. There are different tabs on top of your interface, and the main one when you're going to come in is called posts. So posts, as you're probably familiar with social medias, posts are basically things that your teacher can write. So it works a bit like social media if you want. People can write messages, you can reply, you can add comments, you can share stuff, share files. So it's a big chat if you want. So in the post tabs, when you click on it, you're going to see messages from your teacher. So this is also where you're going to be able to reply to your teacher. and interact with your fellow students. It kind of replaces, it's kind of a modern version of the forum we have on Lia. So some teachers still use the forum on Lia, and most teachers will use the post tab inside of your team to communicate with you. You're also going to have a files tab. The files tab is basically where your teacher will drop in files to hand files to you. Some teachers, again, will use Lia to distribute a few documents, but teachers will use the files tab often to distribute documents like assignments or files that they might want you to work in. So if you're in 3D, maybe they have like a model they want to work, they want you to play around with, or if you're in design, maybe they have a Photoshop file or a text they want you to read. So they're going to end in documents there. So click on the Files tab to see the files that are handed to you. Once you understand these basics, you want, of course, to join your class, because it's all good and well, but the point of being a student is, of course, attending your class. So there are two ways that the teachers can do a class. They can either schedule it in advance, or they can create it on the spot. So no matter which way they use, it's really going to be simple. You're going to see that basically all you have to do is to click on the join button. Whenever you see a meeting, you see this little image here. This is a meeting that's going on. There's a join button. So that's all you have to do. You click on join button. If the teacher started the meeting right before class time, basically what's going to happen is that you're going to go into the channel I was talking about. You're going to see your little camera icon. You're going to click on this channel and you're going to see this box. So click on join to join your class. If they created the class in advance, same thing. It's going to be a bit different, the image, but it basically looks the same colors, same type of display. So you simply click on join. So no matter how they do your classes, you go into the team, you go into the channel where there's a little camera icon, you click on join, and you're going to be able to enter your class. Once inside the class, I'm almost done, don't worry. Once inside the class, really easy. There's a few things you might want to know. You're going to learn, don't worry, you're going to learn as you go along. Teacher will explain stuff that you need to know also. But what you need to know is that there are a few icons once you enter your class. Your class is basically a Teams meeting. So you're going to see what we call the Teams interface. There are a few main icons you want to know about. This one is the show conversation icon. If you click on this, looks like a speech bubble, you're going to be able to access the chat. You're probably all familiar with chat. So basically it's a chat. You can post messages, you can reply to messages, you can post emojis, stickers, files. So there's all kinds of possibilities with that. So depending on how your teacher use it, you're going to be able to use it to interact with him or her. Make sure that you use the chat respectively. We don't want any hateful messages or bad comments and all that. Try to keep your bad comments to yourself. So always try to be thoughtful about that. Don't talk to your badly about your fellow students or your teacher while you're in class. So use this chat in a similar manner. You're also going to have a bunch of icons, as you see under the chat. The icon here is the icon to send your message, but you have a bunch of icons. I won't explain them all, but you're probably familiar with most of them. You can add emojis and stickers and join files. So it's pretty self-explanatory. If you need to ask a question, like you want to take your microphone, you want to ask a question to your teacher, press on the raise hand button, raise your hand, your teacher will see it and will address it as soon as possible. Teachers will sometimes see your hand raised, but they won't address it right away because they're talking or stuff like that. So again, be patient, be polite. You're gonna have your turn. Okay, teachers will see you. There's a light around your camera or your profile picture when you raise your hand. So we all see that you have your hand raised. Once they give you permission to speak or they want you to open your camera, you have these two icons. The one on the right allows you to open your mic. So always wait before taking your microphone on, putting your microphone on and taking the microphone. Always wait that the teacher gives you permission, and open your camera. Your camera, however, you don't have to wait for permission. Most teachers like it when you open your camera, so please open your camera when you start a class. They're going to be able to see you. It's more fun that way. So this you can do whenever you want, but for a microphone, try to keep your microphone off and open it only when the teacher gives you permission to, so that it's not chaotic. Okay. So do you have any question, comments? I'm sure it's going to be all fine and dandy. We're all here for you if ever there are any questions or any problems during a class. We always do our best to answer as best we can and answer it. So I see I have a question here. You got an email of ILASAL Campus yesterday for accessing your academics. Can you tell me whether it will be used for classes too or not? So did you have an email with credentials? If you had emails with credentials, you should use these credentials to access your accounts. So yes, if you receive an email of ILASAL Campus, you should use this. Usually we don't ask you we don't send you things for nothing, meaning that usually if we send you something, you will receive something that's meaningful. So if you receive credentials, these are the credentials you use. Most of the times, actually always, we want you to use the credentials we send you and not your personal emails, because this is really important for us to be able to link your student account with Teams. If you use your personal credential, you're going to have problems because Teams doesn't recognize your personal email, as it can create problems with Omnivox and Leon2. So always make sure to use the appropriate credentials. So any other questions, comments for me today? I hope you're going to be enjoying your teachers, enjoying your classes. We all work really hard these days to make sure that you have good teachers, appropriate training. So as I said earlier, always be patient, be kind, and be civilized with your teachers. If there's any problems, any issues before going and creating problems with your teachers or somebody like your teachers or fellow students, please contact the administration. Make sure that you go through the proper channel so that everything is dealt in a nice and similar manner. Okay. Indeed, Elidzi says contact your student coordinator. So that's your person that's going to be dealing with you. So if you have any problems, as I said, with teachers or your account or fellow students or assignments or payments or anything like that, contact your student coordinator. If they can't help you, they'll say you need to contact this person. So they're really your main resource. So they're your friend. Don't be shy and contact them. They're a bit lonely these days. They're waiting for you to write to them. So say hi, and they'll help you with a big smile. So that being said, if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to leave you. I see there are others. Yes, there are other questions. So let me answer this. Just make sure that everybody has their answer. So Shabam, you say you have not received your Teams login yet. You should. Okay, you enrolled for January 21 intake. So you mean you started on January? You're starting in January 21. If that is the case, then I would say that it's normal that you don't have your credentials. Normally, it takes a bit of time. If you're starting next week, you should have your credentials soon. Just be patient. If ever you see your first class coming in, you don't have your credentials, then contact your student coordinator. We're going to do all we can to give you your access as soon as possible. Shubham, you have contacted Sarah Ghazal. Lydie, can you make sure that Sarah Ghazal is Shubham's student coordinator, just to make sure that we have the right one and that you contact the right person? If it's not, we're gonna give you the same one, and otherwise we're gonna get to it, Shubham. We're gonna give you your credentials. As I said earlier, we're doing the best we can. There's a lot of just know that when we start a semester like this, there's a lot of emails coming our way, a lot of messages, a lot of credentials that we need to send. So if ever there's a problem on that front, we're working on it. We're always doing our best. There's a team that works for you. We work a lot. We work during the holidays, so it's coming in. Don't worry about it. So somebody wants to talk about the Authenticator app. You're not able to log in through the email we provided. The person who asked this, did you actually use the email, the credentials we've sent, meaning the LCE education email? Always make sure to use this email and not your personal email. You should be able to use the app if you use the credentials. The app is really not linked to your email, actually. The app is really linked to your phone. It allows you to make sure that the credentials and the phone are working, to make sure that it's you who is accessing your account. First thing you might want to do is try to log into Teams with these credentials. If you log into Teams using the credentials we sent you, and you're able to log into Teams and to get to the two-factor authentication process, meaning that you're able to install the app and start the authentication process, then it means your credential works. The problem will probably be on the Authenticator side of things. I didn't use the app a lot, so I don't have all the details on the app. We can tell you if ever you have problems with the app itself. I would advise to contact the IT department. Lydie, can you confirm if it's the IT or the 377 they need to contact? Either way, if really the app doesn't seem to work, they're the expert on the matter. So unfortunately, I'm not an expert on the Authenticator app. I know that once you install it on your phone, they're going to give you a code, and this code should be linked with the code you receive in Teams. That's pretty much all I can tell you. But I can tell you that if you've logged into Teams using your credentials and you went as far as the two-factor authentication, then you should be aware that your credentials work. So the issue is probably more about the link between your phone and Teams. So as Lydie said, you should be able to contact 3777. So let me check if there's other questions here. Welcome. Sunel, you're welcome. Okay, it's a good question. I have a question here about somebody who received their emails and a Teams ID. Not exactly sure what you're talking about. If you have an email and a password, this should be used to enter Teams. Your Teams ID is probably the I would have to see it, but your Teams ID is probably used in Teams, not to log into Teams, unless they ask you your Teams ID. Usually when you log into Teams, you log into your Microsoft account, so they ask you for your email and your password. I'm not sure what you're talking about when you talk about Teams ID. Okay, so we're gonna get to it. Shubham is asking if we can send the email, so we're gonna look into it, Shubham, and send you your credentials as fast as possible, hopefully before your orientation tomorrow. Yes, and as we asked, as Lydia so gracefully said, if ever you are disconnected from a class, don't worry about it. You can join again. Classes are ongoing. As long as there's somebody in the class is going. So as long as your teacher is in the class will go. If you leave, you can come back. So no problem there. So I think that that's pretty much the questions we have right now. So for those who don't have their credentials, as I said earlier, we're going to send them to you. We're taking notes. So we're going to get back to you as soon as possible. We are training your teachers also. We're giving trainings all day today also. So we have a lot to do, but we make sure that you have everything you need for when you start. So if you have orientation tomorrow, you should have your credentials. So that's it. Hopefully it answered all your questions. I thank all of you for joining in today. And if there's any further questions, please contact your student coordinator. This depends on the department where you're enrolled in. So make sure that in the list of people you have when you enrolled, you check who's your student coordinator and contact him or her if you have any other questions. On that note, I'm going to leave you be. I'm going to wish you a nice semester with us. Hopefully you're going to be able to learn a lot of things and you're going to grow with us. So